from Clyde.
Hi, Neil. First of all, just going back, since the weekend, has there been a lot of conversations had about how you can improve performances?
Well, I thought the performance was okay. It's just the moments of madness that cost us the 2 points. Yeah, we did a post-match brief on Monday, went through a few things. We actually played very well, but we're giving away the amount of penalties we've given away this season is a bit of a concern. So we need to certainly address that and tidy that up. If you think of Kilmarnock and Aberdeen and now Hibs, it's cost us 6 points over those 3 games where it's been unnecessary really. But in terms of the actual display and the last 20 minutes where the players played brilliantly, it was quite good overall.
Takže první otázka. Vrátíme se na zpátek k
Neil, some of the fans have been quite vocal in recent weeks and since the weekend as well about what they're seeing and what they're getting from the team. What would you say to the fans at the moment?
In terms of what?
I know that there's a banner appeared outside Celtic Park today as well.
Well, I mean, that's the fans, or some of the fans' opinion. The bottom line is, we haven't made that bad at the start of the season in terms of the league. We've lost 1 game. And I've touched on the draws where, if it had been wins, then we would have been sitting in a very good position. So compared to other seasons, it's not been as bad a start as what people are making it out to be. I think we can play better. I think we can go on a run. There's no evidence to suggest to the contrary of that. But I can't control, what some fans are feeling. I think I've got to put things into perspective here, and I think there's a lot of hysteria and a little bit of panic. I think there's a frustration that the supporters not being able to be at the games. But, I've got the perspective of we're calm. There's a long way to go. Yes, Rangers have made a great start to the season. We can't affect that. We can maybe later on by putting pressure on that. And I'm pretty confident that we will.
Neil, how does it make you feel when you hear or you see that there are banners or people that have been unhappy with you and the team?
Well, I only became aware of the banner about 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. But, it's disappointing. So, but, fans are entitled to voice their opinion. Whether I agree with it or not, it's irrelevant. They've put it out there. It's something that I'm not going to really engage with. I've got a job to do here. I think I've done it pretty well since I've come back in. I've sort of reconciled myself to the fact that maybe I'm not going to be, everyone's cup of tea, but it's a great privilege doing this job. I take it as a privilege. The club means a lot to me, and it has done for the last 20 years. And I'm strong, and I feel strong, and my backroom team is strong, and the players are going to get better, I think, and more consistent as we go along.
You've talked about dramas and crises, and it's more a drama than a crisis. Do you think when things like banners and protests start, then it's actually making things worse? It's distorting what's actually happening?
Yeah, well, you have to put a sense of perspective. We've made a better start to the league than we did 2 years ago when we went on to win the treble. We've lost 1 game in the league this season. We're in another final. Unfortunately, that's had to overlap into this season, and we couldn't get to enjoy the fruits of everything last season. And we're in a sort of new environment for the time being. We've lost, 1 domestic game this calendar year. So, yeah, I think it's hysteria. We've won, since I've come back, we've won 4 trophies in a row. The team has won 11 in a row, got a chance of winning 12. So we're going through a sticky patch, if you want to call it that. All teams do. And good teams come out the other end, and sort of good managers, and that's what I firmly believe that we will do.
Neil, I just wonder, do you...
Neil, sorry, I was just going to ask, do you agree with Martin and Neil's comments that Celtic supporters' concerns about the title are premature, or can you understand those concerns?
What concerns are that?
Well, concerns supporters have that maybe securing the 10th title in a row is now out with Celtic's reach.
Well, of course it's premature. There's so much football to go. We've got games in hand that, whether we win or not, we can close the gap. But there's so much more football to be played. So yeah, it's way too premature for conceding anything, and we haven't lost anything domestically, so far this season, as far as I'm aware. So look, I get it to a certain degree. I think it's coming from all angles at the minute, and I just have to stay strong on it. I'm quite the type to enjoy sort of this type of stuff, this type of pressure. It's never really bothered me before. You're disappointed with the reaction of some people, but you can't control everything. And I'm looking ahead, looking forward to the games coming up, and looking forward to putting a good run together between now and the new year.
Souhlasíte s tím, co řekl pan Neil ohledně...
Post the Hibs match, you were wondering a wee bit about the players' hunger. I know you said you had a debrief and you've looked again at the game. Are you kind of almost reconsidering that opinion now?
Well, I was referring to moments in the game where we didn't show the right desire to deal with certain situations. The last 20 minutes was probably as good as we've played this season, so it shows me that they wanted it, and if the game had gone on any longer, we probably would have won it. But we give ourselves too much to do. It's as good as we played at Easter Road for a long, long time. We had total control of the game. First half, we're under no pressure. There's no periods of pressure, and poor decision making cost us, and we end up having to chase the game. It was the same at Aberdeen. It's the same at Kilmarnock, where we're chasing the wins. We're from a position where we're in control. So we just need to eradicate that. We need to, stay strong, mentally, and not lose concentration like we have done. But the performance overall on Saturday was pretty good. So we've been through it. We've looked at where we went right and looked at where we went wrong. And the players are looking forward to, continue playing now. We know we have a title race on, a challenge, and that's one we should embrace. Rather than run away from it, do what we always do, take it on. This is probably new for some of the players, and certainly for, a selection of fans. But it's not new for me. I've been in many title races and challenges before, so I know how to win them.
How would you assess your qualification chances out of this group?
Well, we have to win tomorrow to stand any chance of qualifying. So that's our sole focus now, is, going to Prague and trying to win the game. We were, the reverse game here was probably as disappointing as we've been for a while. So it's important that we motivate ourselves to correct that. And we started the game well and then lost our way a little bit, got very ragged. That can't happen tomorrow. We must go and endeavour to try and win a game. And to be honest with you, our away record in Europe's been pretty good. So we take all the positives from that and bring it into the game tomorrow.
How's your squad looking for the game?
Well, Griffiths is out with a knee problem, but he should be okay in the next few days. He's just too sore for tomorrow. Julien's in contention to start, as is El Hamed.
Okay.
Neil, after the home defeat in this fixture, you called for a culture change. Have you started to see signs of that culture change, or are you happy that that's going in the right direction?
Yeah, I mean, there's been improvements in the level of performance. There's no question of that. And there's been an improvement, around the place in terms of the atmosphere as well. So we'll be, highly motivated to get something out of the game tomorrow. We need to win it. When all our good work from last season and this season, goes in Europe if we don't. So there's a lot riding on the game tomorrow for us.
Dobře, po poslední prohře, tak vy jste zmiňoval, změny.
I appreciate you've.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, can you hear me? We're travelling now, so we need to push on. Can we just take a question from the Czech media, if there's any?
Can I just finish one? You have with the Celtic board a close relationship. You say you speak regularly to Dermot Desmond. You've described the fans and things as drama and hysteria around maybe what's going on at the minute. Is that even on their radar in any conversations you've had with them?
Well, obviously, all of us are not happy with the way things are panning out at the minute, but there's a calmness about Peter and the board. There's no panic. We've been over the course and distance many times before. I speak to Peter every day, so he's very, very supportive, as he is with the players and my backroom team as well. So it's as you are, let's get improvement, let's get some wins, let's play the type of football that we know we're capable of, which we showed in the last 20 minutes at Easter Road, and you will be absolutely okay.
Thank you.
Excuse me, just quickly to our translator. Can we take one question from the Czech media if you'd like one?
Yeah,
then we can translate all together, and then we are travelling. Okay, so if there's any question from the Czech media, please now.
Dobře, takže česká média, pokud máte nějaké otázky, tak teď máte čas se ptát.
Dobrý den, Pavel Mančar, Česká tisková kancelář. Mám jednu otázku. Po té vysoké prohře bere trenér zápas se Spartou šanci uklidnit atmosféru kolem klubu? Co se teď děje s protesty fanoušků a podobně? A odčinit ten debakl?
Good day. I've got one question. So after the high defeat, the last game, do you consider this a chance to calm down the atmosphere around the club and what was mentioned before, the banners, and also make up for this defeat?
I think we have to make up for the defeat. I don't think it's going to change maybe some of the reaction from some of the supporters if we do win or not. I'm not sure how much relevance that will have. I'm just concerned about the group, and for us to have any chance of qualification, we must endeavour to win the game.
Okay, Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Neil. Good luck.
To go. Scott, given the way that things have maybe gone so far in Europe, is there...
Can I interrupt for 2 seconds? We're really pushed for time. It's going to be one question each.
Scott, given the way things that have gone in it feels a bit personal. It's about pride. It's about getting things back on track.
Yeah, definitely. I think the way we performed at home wasn't Celtic, to be perfectly honest. We let ourselves down, let the fans down, but this is one that we've got to manage to bounce back. We've got that opportunity. It's going to be a hard game, but we need to try and make the most of it. We need to make sure that we play well and we have a good performance as well. We'll the manager this one.
Dobře, takže co se týká situace v té evropské lize, takže myslíte, že by se to dalo pojmenovat?
Scott, there was a banner outside the stadium this morning saying it was time to go for the manager. He felt that was disappointing, but said it was premature and that they need a bit of perspective. The fans, do you agree with that?
What was that? Sorry, you cut out a wee bit.
Sorry, there was a banner outside the stadium this morning saying that it was time for the manager to go. He said it was disappointing, but that it's very premature and they need a bit of perspective. Do you agree with what the manager said?
Yeah, definitely. It's disappointing because the manager's been fantastic. The first spell that he had at the club, he was fantastic as well. Second spell, we've won a lot of trophies, played some great football. We've not had the best the last couple of games, to be perfectly honest, but it's time to bounce back and make sure that we start playing for the manager. I think we owe him a couple of good performances. He puts a lot of faith, he puts a lot of hard work into training and everything that he does off the park as well. And you know how much a legend he was when he was a player as well. He was a born leader. He was a winner, sorry, and that's what he's been trying to push into us and make sure that we continue that. And the results haven't been perfect, haven't been great, but we need to make sure that now is the time we start pushing on, we start playing for him, start playing as a team and start creating chances and scoring goals and going back to what we were doing last season, because at the end of last season, before the whole lockdown, we're on playing some great football, to be perfectly honest. We're on some great form as well, and we need to make sure we get back to that. Well, and you know what it's like, and when I was at Hibs, everyone wanted to try and silence the crowd for the first 20 minutes, but now it's obviously hard for everybody. But we'd love the fans, but we miss the fans. We want to get got to make sure that we play by the rules to get the fans in and make sure that we do everything that we possibly can to do that as well. And that's what the club's doing. We're trying to push that as far as we possibly can, and we're trying to start this chat already, and it'd be fantastic if we can get them back in, because it's pretty much nothing without the fans, and you can hear everyone chatting to each other, and it's not what we're used to. It's not what we're used to experiencing on telly as well.
Scott, I was just going to ask you, what would you say to supporters who have been calling for Neil Lennon to step down, supporters that are, going to Celtic Park with putting a banner up saying, "Save the 10, time to go, Neil"?
I think that's today's day and age, and it's all social media, it's all a picture for Instagram or Twitter. But no, we've got 100% faith in the manager. He's been fantastic with us, and the support that we've had through the 9 in a row has been incredible. And it's just stick with us, make sure we're all together, and we focus and we aim to go forward, and we'll get the performances going.
Co byste řekl fanouškům?
Scott, would you say then that social media gives a distorted view of perhaps what the bulk of fans are thinking, or is it reflective of what the bulk of fans are thinking?
I think now is the time that we all come together. The fans have been fantastic for us, as I say, for the last 9 seasons, and this is the time that we all stick together. We're pushing for something special. We need to make sure that we're all together. Everyone in that changing room is working extremely hard to try and get better on the park, and we know the performances and haven't been up to scratch, and now it's the time that we've got to fix this, and we need to make sure that we're fixing this extremely quickly, because the manager and backroom staff are working extremely hard, and now for us we need to go on the park and whoever the 11 is and make sure we do the exact same.
Dobře, co byste řekl
zápasu a jakou šanci vám to dá udržet šanci na postup?
I will ask the same question that I asked the coach, the manager. Do you consider the tomorrow's match as a way to make up for the last high defeat at home? And do you think that it will give you a possibility to go through, to qualify?
Yeah, the last performance from us wasn't like us, to be perfectly honest, so it's a little bit of revenge for us. Hopefully we can go over there, get a good performance, and we need the win. If we can get the win, we can put ourselves in a good position in the group, and that's what we need to make sure that we're in after this game.